Hello friends, welcome to my channel Clinical Biochemistry by Dr. P.K. Prabhakar. Today we are going to talk about one of the basic steps for the biochemistry or clinical biochemistry labs, that is the blood collections. And for blood collection we require a blood collection tubes. So we are going to see there are various different types of tubes we are having. So these tubes not only differs in their compositions inside the what are the content, which type of components is present inside the tubes. Also their caps are of different color. So depending on the caps color we can identify this tube will have this type of component inside. So depending on tube their purpose is also differing. So we will see one by one all the different types of blood collection tubes and their usage, where we are going to use it and how they are different with each other. The process where blood is going to be collected, or the person who is going to be which is going to withdraw the blood, that is called as phlebotomist. And the phlebotomy is the process by which veins will be punctured, especially usually in the arm regions, and through the cannula or the needle, and then blood will be withdrawn. This process is called as phlebotomy, and the person who do all these works, that is called as phlebotomist. So normally this process is also known as venipunctures, or it is intravenous therapy. There also we are doing the same thing, same process. Now there is another terms which pronunciation looks like same, but its meaning is different. So phlebotomy is the withdrawal of blood, whereas phlebotomy is the removal of the veins from the body. So both phlebotomy and phlebectomy, that are two different terms, roughly almost opposite. One is withdrawal of blood, other one is removal of veins from the body. So we are going to see there are different types of tubes. So first tube which we are going to see, that is the purple or lavender color tubes. This is the picture of the tubes. So you can see the color of the cap. You can also call it purple lavender top color, cap color. So this purple color tubes normally we are going to use for all those hematological tests where whole blood is going to be required for the analysis. Whole blood means no serum, no plasma, no coagulated blood. So we are going to require complete blood. In this case, this vials contains EDTA. What is EDTA? EDTA is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid or ethylene diamine tetraacetate. This EDTA normally binds with the calcium ion, and calcium is one of the important factors in the blood clotting process. So calcium is required for blood clotting. So if calcium will be available, blood clotting will occur. But if EDTA is going to bind with the calcium, so calcium will not be available for blood clotting purpose. And when calcium is not available for blood clotting purpose, blood will not be clotted. So that is the mechanism of action of EDTA. In every vials there is a fixed amount of EDTA is going to be present. So roughly it 1.8 mg per ml blood EDTA amount is there in the vials. Now this EDTA not only binds with calcium, but it also binds with the number of metal ions like iron, lead, mercury. So whenever a person is going to have this type of metal toxicity, so this EDTA will be used for the treatment or the chelation of these metal ions. This is called as chelation therapy. BD is a company who makes Vacutainers. So BD Vacutainer plus blood collection tubes contains normally dipotassium EDTA salts, which is spray dried to the wall of the tubes. Dipotassium EDTA is normally recommended by CLSI and the ICSH. Vacutainers which contains glass, means Vacutainer glass blood collection tubes contains trisodium EDTA, the liquid form of EDTA. So normally most of the cases we are having this is dipotassium EDTA, but glass blood collection vials contains trisodium EDTA. Now what is the use of where we are going to use this blood collection tubes, this purple color tubes? First, common tests, some of the tests which is very common where we are going to use this type of tubes, that is full blood count, that is CBC, then erythrocyte sedimentation rate for ESR for any kind of infection or any kind of inflammations detections, blood film formation for abnormal cells and the malarial parasites detections, reticulocytes counts, red cell folate, monospot test for EBV, glycated hemoglobin, that is HbA1c for normally for diabetic peoples for diabetes detections, and parathyroid hormones, PTH hormone detections estimations. So for all these purposes we require the complete blood, total means uncoagulated blood. So there are some less common tests where also we are going to use this type of vials, that is cyclosporins or tacrolimus test, that is immunosuppressant drugs. These two are immunosuppressive drugs. Then some viral PCR test, glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency or test, ACTH adrenocorticotropic hormone level estimations, porphyria screenings, plasma metallopherins, and fasting gut hormone screening tests. So these are some of the less common tests, but here also we are going to use whole blood sample only. Now the purple color tubes needs inversion of 8 times minimum. So this is the minimum requirement, that 8 times you have to mix it, so that EDTA which is spread on the wall of the tubes will be completely mixed with the blood. Then only blood, because that amount is fixed. About 1 ml of blood is sufficient to perform the full blood count. However, to get an ESR value, you need to fill the purple color bottle. So this is all about purple color bottle. Now second tubes which we are going to use is the pink color bottle. In this pink color bottle, if you see, it is generally used for those tests where whole blood sample being sent for the, especially for the transfusion labs. So this pink color bottles, this is the pink color. This also contains EDTA at the same 1.8 mg per ml of blood sample. And here, because this EDTA also having same mechanism of action by chelation of the calcium, so it also binds with the calcium and then works as anticoagulants. The common test where we are going to use this pink color vials are groups and saves. First one is GNS, that is groups and saves. This test simply means that patient's blood is typed and tested for antibodies, then saved in the lab for in case of whenever they require it. So normally it has been tested for the and evaluated for antibody test, and then it will be preserved in the lab, in the labs or in the blood banks. So whenever it requires, that time it will be taken for the transfusion after the cross matching. That is called as group and save. For that purpose we are using this pink color vials. Then for cross matching. Cross matching means that the patient's blood is typed and tested as above. In case of GNS we have done it. Then it will be matched for a specific unit of blood, platelets and other products for the transfusion reaction. So that is called as cross matching test. And the third one is direct Coombs test. Direct Coombs test is also called as direct antiglobulin test. This is normally for autoimmune hemolytic anemia test. And there are some less common tests are there where with this pink color tube will be used. That is test for a specific red cell antibodies. Usually 3 bottles are required for here. And second one is hematology test such as fasting blood sugar if the word run out of the purple bottle. So here also if you will say normally in this pink color it will be also inverted minimum 8 times so that EDTA will be mixed completely. It should contain at least 1 ml of blood, but more preferred that blood as much as you can keep it. So this is pink color bottle. Third one is blue color bottle. This blue color bottle, if you see it, picture you can see here. This is the blue color bottle, and this is normally used for those tests for hematological tests where clotting system we are going to involve. So for all the tests where we going to do the test for the blood clotting processes, there we are going to use blue color tubes, which requires inactivated whole blood for analysis. This blue color tubes contains buffered sodium citrate, and this buffered sodium citrate or sodium citrate you can call it, it is a reversible anticoagulant. Means reversible means coagulation process can be reversed back. This sodium citrate mechanism of action also is same as EDTA. This also binds with the calcium ion, so that calcium will not be available for the blood clotting process. So here also this is also going to work as a EDTA only by calcium chelations. This sodium citrate is also added to the blood product for the transfusion and acts as preservative by stopping them for the clotting in the blood bags. So whenever we are going to keep blood in the blood bags, so that time also it will be mixed with sodium citrate as a preservative, so that blood will not clot there. The common test where we are going to use the blood collected in the blue color tubes are, first one is clotting test, coagulation screening test. So there are some of the blood clotting coagulation screenings are there. Like first one is bleeding test. This is normally done for the platelet functions. Second one is prothrombin test. So this prothrombin test is normally done for the assessment of the extrinsic pathway. Then we are having activated partial thromboplastin time, APTT, commonly it is known as, this is for the intrinsic pathway. Then we are having thrombin time, or it is also called as fibrinogen assay. This is for the final common pathway. After that one we are having this test will be this blood collected vials, blood from these vials will be used for D-dimer for the assay for the ruling of thrombosis, that is especially deep vein thrombosis. Then it is used for international normalized ratio for monitoring patients of warfarin. Activated partial thromboplastin ratio, APTR, it is for especially done for the patients of intravenous heparin infusions. And anti-XA for monitoring patients on high dose of low molecular weight heparins like tinazarines. So for all these purposes, these are some of the common tests where we are going to use this blue color vials. There are some less common tests are also there, like thrombophilia screenings, lupus anticoagulants, specific clotting factors like factor 8, factor 9 or von Willebrand factors. So these are some of the less common tests. Here whenever we are going to collect blood in the blue color tubes, blood need to be inverted 3 to 4 times so that the sodium citrate will mix completely with this one. The sodium citrate liquid in the bottle, normally because it is in the liquid forms, so this sodium citrate when we are going to mix with the blood will be diluted. So it dilutes the blood sample, and the machine in the labs are normally calibrated to interpret results based on the set ratio of blood to anticoagulant. So if you are going to collect less blood in the blood vial, so there we will have more anticoagulant, less blood, where machine is already set for a fixed ratio of blood and anticoagulant. So whenever we are going to collect blood, we should have to collect blood till the marking, which is marked in the edge of the bottle. So that is the important points which you need to remember it in this case. Some clotting tests need to be taken at very specific time, like INR. What is INR? Just now I have told you, international normalized ratio. It should ideally be done in the morning. Anti-XA assay must be taken 3 to 4 hours after the tinzaparin is given, and APTR timing is often indicated on the prescriptions given by the doctors. So these are some of the important points for the blue color tubes. Then we are having yellow or gold color tubes. This is one of the most commonest forms of blood collection tubes. So there is a huge variety of tests which can be performed by this test, which requires the separated serum for the analysis, like biochemistry, microbiology, oncology, toxicology, immunology. So most of the places we are going to use these tubes. This tube is also known as SST. SST means serum separating tubes. This serum separating tubes contains two agents, two components. One is silica particles, and second one is serum separating gels. So first one is silica particle and second one is serum separating gels. Silica particles normally works to activate clotting and cause the blood cells to clump together. So for the blood clotting purpose we are going to use silica particles, and second one is serum separating gels. Normally this serum separating gels consist an inert polymer gel which floats as a layer between which forms a layer between the blood cell and the plasma, so that it will be separated out. So it is working as a physical barrier between the blood cells and the plasma. These bottles are normally used for a variety of tests. So where separated serum has been done, used for the analysis like biochemistry, endocrinology, oncology, toxicology, microbiology, and immunology. So we are going to see some of the common tests, especially in the biochemistry. So when we are going to use in the biochemistry, there we are going to use for urea and electrolyte assay. So in the case of this one, like urea and electrolyte test, common tests are urea test, creatinine test, sodium, potassium assay. C-reactive proteins, which is one of the acute phase protein, positive acute phase proteins. So C-reactive protein can be evaluated by using this blood from these vials. Then we are having various liver function tests for the assay of the livers, like bilirubin, alkaline phosphatase, AST, ALT, gamma GGT, total protein, albumins, all these things. Then amylase assay. Then we are having some of the bone profiling tests such as calcium, phosphate, alkaline phosphatase, albumin. Then magnesium assay. Then we are having iron assay. This includes serum iron, ferritin, transferrin saturation test, total iron binding capacity. So that is iron test. Lipid profiles, where we are having total cholesterol, triglyceride, HDL, VLDL, LDL, all these tests. Thyroid function test. In this thyroid function test, especially we are having TSH, free T4, and sometimes T3 also. Vitamin test commonly we are normally doing for vitamin B12. Then troponins. These normally require two samples to be taken at two different times to assess the acute trend of the troponins. Creatine kinase, which is one of the important enzyme for the skeletal muscles. Then urate assay and serum osmolality, which requires a urine sample to be taken at the same time. So these are some of the biochemical tests where we require SST tubes tests. Blood from SST tubes. In case of endocrinology, some of the important hormone will be assayed by these methods, blood from this test. That is beta HCG, human choriogonadotropins, calcitonin, cortisols, erythropoietins, sex hormones like estrogens and testosterone, growth hormones, and insulin like growth factor 1. So this is for endocrinology. Then in case of oncology, this is PSA, prostate specific antigens, CEA, carbohydrate antigens 125, carbohydrate antigen 99, alpha fetoproteins, and LDH, lactate dehydrogenase. So these are in case of oncology. Then when we are talking about toxicology, many different toxins, many different chemicals can be evaluated by using this test, like ethanol, cannabis, opiates, benzodiazepines, some of the drugs. Then we are having some of the drugs concentration can also be evaluated by this samples, this serum samples, like paracetamol, aspirins, digitoxins, lithium. In case of microbiology, for viral, bacterial, viral, fungal, or parasitic infections, especially HIV and viral hepatitis, there we can use it. For immunological tests like immunoglobulins level, complement systems, autoantibodies, rheumatoid factors, thyroid autoantibodies, alpha A1T, AC. So all these tests can be done by using serum taken from this gold or yellow tubes, or you can call it SST tubes. Now there are some tips. Once you are going to collect blood, so minimum 5 times it should be inverted, so that it will be blood will be mixed completely with the silica gels and the that component. Now minimum we require, because different the amount of blood required will depends on how many tests you are going to not be performing, but at least 1 ml is ideal. Roughly you can do usually get about 12 tests from one full yellow bottle. So depending on the test, how much blood we need to collect it. The next vial is called as grey color vials. In this grey color vials, it is only used for 2 tests in the biochemistry, which requires whole blood for analysis. So here it contains 2 important components. One component is sodium fluoride. So sodium fluoride is working as an anti-glycolytic agent, means it is going to block the glycolysis reactions by inhibiting the enolase enzyme of the 9, that is enolase is the 9th enzyme of the glycolysis. So that enzyme will be blocked and glycolysis will not take place. Second one is either it will be used potassium oxalate as an anticoagulant, or sometime it will be EDTA as an anticoagulant. So we require one antiglycolytic agent and second one will be anticoagulant agent. So most commonly oxalate, but sometime EDTA also. So this anticoagulant, either it will be oxalate, it is also going to chelate with the calcium only, like EDTA or the citrate. So same mechanism is there by calcium chelations. This grey color tubes will be commonly used for glucose estimations, either through fasting blood sugar estimations or the glucose tolerance test, or it is also used for lactate estimations. And some less common tests are where we are going to evaluate blood ethanol value, but it is not for the legal purposes. Here also it needs to, once you are going to collect blood in this grey color tubes, need to be inverted 8 times so that completely mixing will be there. Then we are having a red color tubes. Red color tubes is normally, it is very less common test, common tubes which we are going to use it. So it requires only for those biochemical tests which is where serum is going to be affected by SST, serum suppressing tubes, that silica gel tubes. So if silica is going to affect some of the blood parameters, so there we are going to use these tubes. Otherwise this tube does not have any other usage. The additive of this red blood bottles contains silica particles which acts as clot activator. Here we don't have gel. So no anticoagulant, serum is separated by the centrifuge only. This test is normally we are going to perform. The use of this bottle varies greatly. Some hospitals use it for many sensitive tests like hormone test, toxicological analysis, drug level estimations, bacterial and viral serology, then antibody estimations, whereas others seems to use only for the few specific purposes. So it depends on hospital to hospital. Otherwise many hospital use it for iodide, calcium also this test. Less common test where this tube, blood from this tube will be used, that is fluoride estimations, cryoglobulin estimations and cold agglutinin estimations. So here we require minimum 5 time mixing should have to be there, that is the minimum requirement. Then we are having dark green color tubes. This dark green color tubes, it is used for those biochemical tests which requires heparinized plasma or whole blood for the analysis. It contains sodium heparin which acts as the anticoagulants, and the common tests where we are going to use this blood from this vial, that is ammonia estimations, insulin estimations, renin and angiotensin aldosterone estimations. Less common tests where we are going to use this blood from this vials are aluminium estimations, gut hormones like number of gastrins, then we can have CCK, GLP, all those gut hormones analysis, amino acid estimations, homocysteine estimations, chromosomal tests. Here once we are going to collect blood in these vials, blood need to be mixed 8 times, and the bottle cannot be reliably used for the sodium level estimations. So this is completely avoidable. Next test is, that was the previous was the dark green color tubes. Here it is light green color tubes. This is a light green color test. Here also we requiring it is used for those biochemical tests which requires the separated heparinized plasma. It is known for plasma separation tubes, separator tubes. This contains lithium heparin which acts as an anticoagulant, and along with lithium heparin it also contains a plasma separated gels which you can see here. So it is having a gel plus as a heparin. So heparin works as an anticoagulant and second one is work as a separator which separates the plasma, similar to the which we have used in the yellow bottle. It can be used for normal routine biochemical analysis and for blood ethanol estimation also, but again blood ethanol if it is not for legal purposes. Here also it needs inverting about 8 times so that it will be completely mixed with the blood. Other than so, there are number of other tubes are there. These tubes cannot be used for lithium level. There are number of other vials are also there, like dark blue colored vials. It is used for toxicological and trace element analysis such as zinc, selenium and copper. However, the ever versatile yellow bottles are also used for these tests. Tan color bottles, which is used for the lead estimations, lead evaluations. Then we are having orange color vials. So this orange color vials contains thrombin based clot activator which allow stat serum testings. Light yellow colors vials, which is normally used for HLA phenotyping, tissue typing, DNA analysis and paternity testings. A white color vial, which is used for molecular diagnostic purposes, PCR tests and DNA amplification studies. Black color vial is used for pediatrics, ESRs, and when clear leads will be there, it will be used as a discarded tube, for example when blood from a central lines. Other than these blood collection vials, there are some other specific vials are there. One vial of such type is blood cultured bottle, where this color you can see. Here also we are having a specific type of caps are there. So this blood cultured bottle contains a culture medium which normally encourage or grow the bacterial samples, bacteria which is present in the blood samples. So there are different bottles available with the culture media for different type of organisms. Like when we want to grow anaerobic bacteria, that time we have to select a blue color lead, as you can see here. If we want to grow anaerobic bacteria, we require a purple color leads, as you can see here. Alongside a variety of other, including one that is black leads, which is normally used for mycobacterial cultures, can be used. So for mycobacterium we can use black color of bottle. Similarly with this one we are having another test, another culture vials, that is called as arterial blood gas syringes. This arterial blood gas syringe, as you can see here pictures, it can be used for blood gas analysis, for mainly for the oxygenation studies, for acid base balance and some cases potassium and lactic acid estimation also. So these are all about the different types of blood collection vials, blood collection tubes, which commonly we are using in the medical diagnostic lab or the blood collection phlebotomist. So hope you have understand it. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. If you like the video, press the like button. You can press the bell button so that you will get all the notification on time. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.